now we can move on to Venemy, also scripted by Larry. Alright, so let's read this guy. Random effect. Each time a card is sent from the field, the graveyard plays one Venemy counter on this card for its card sent, for its sent card. All monsters on the field except Dark Dragons lose 200 attack for each Venemy counter. Once per turn, you can reduce the battle damage you take from a battle to 0. I think Venemy counter is the same as Lethal Dose. Lethal Dose. Venemy counter, yeah, seems like it's the same one. And then Master Effect. First of all, Dark Monster plus Battle Monster, play simple materials. Then you can target one face monster upon controls. Until the end phase discards name becomes a monster original name and replaces this effect with a monster original effects. Name and effect copying. Then that monster loses 500 attack and defense. Its effects are negated, also inflict 500 damage to your opponent. You can only use this effect once per turn. This card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place it in your pendulum zone. Okay, so let's see. Pendulum procedure, false because it cannot be in your hand. Revive limit, fusion materials are a pendulum and a dark. Seems fine. Okay, Venemy counters. So continues, event the grave, location P zone, ACOP. It says each time a card is sent from the field to grave, place one Venemy on this card for each card sent. So CT filter count. Okay, so CT is how many cards went from the field to the graveyard in this particular instance. If it's more than 0, put this counter on this card. Okay, seems straightforward and correct. All monsters on the field except Dark Dragons lose 200 attack for its Venemy counter on the field. So all monsters on the field. The attack, P zone, TG. So what's this? It should be not Dark and Dragon. Okay. So everything that's not Dark and Dragon loses attack Val. Dual get counter. Okay, so I'm guessing this returns, yeah, from the player 0 perspective, both sides of the field. This is the counter. Minus 200 is how much you lose for each counter, and this total number is how much all the monsters are gonna lose. So that seems correct. And then once per turn, it battle damage to 0. Well, pre-battle damage, probably correct. P zone, soft once per turn. So this checker thing is so that it's your battle damage. So the event player is you. And then a DOP. Now this is optional, so okay, select yes, no, it's gonna ask you, do you wanna apply this effect? If you say yes, it's gonna flash the card and change the damage to 0. So that seems correct as well. And the monster effects, we have the copying, disable attack change and damage, okay. Ignition, it targets, monster zone, it's hard once per turn, right? You can only use effect once per turn, so this should be 180. And then let's check the functions. I just noticed some, this should be E3. Okay, fix it real quick. E3. Right, so the copy effect. So what does it target the face of monster the opponent controls? So it's the opponent's monster on monster zone, this filter. That's the basic filter for whether its effects can be, the target effects can be negated. The existing target, this filter, the opponent controls, select target, Disable damage. Okay. PC is this card, this is the target. If this card is face up and the target is face up, and right, get the code. That's for the copy. Yeah, change code. Is set is that until the end phase? Until the end phase, this card's name counts. So yeah, the copying is until the end phase. If not trap monster, why is this check here? I'm not sure why. Why we added this. Does this return anything? I don't think so, but let me check. It returns an int. It's a bastion, says it returns an integer. I'm not sure what it is though. Temporarily has a code. I will try it. The point being that if it copies successfully, then you proceed with the because it says copy blah blah blah, then the master loses, etc. So you need to successfully copy basically in order to proceed past the then. That's the idea. Break effect because it's a then. Let me put some comments here. Decrease attack and defense. And then this is the negate its effects. Also inflict 500 damage to your opponent. It says also, so it doesn't seem to be tied to whether it's immune or not, so I'm gonna just do this. Okay. Another comment here. Copy name plus effect. Right, there was one thing I want to check. Effect failure, maybe. Right, this. However, maybe he doesn't need that check because, okay, let's say it is negated. What's gonna happen is that you're still gonna copy the effects, and then yeah, it doesn't matter actually. Yeah, so that should be fine. Yeah, it should be okay. And then the last effect is the placing on the pendulum zone. If this card in the master zone is destroyed, placing a pendulum zone. Single trigger O, event destroyed, delay. You might need damage step flag. Keep forgetting if forgetting whether event destroyed requires a damage step flag or not. It doesn't hurt to add it, so I'm just gonna add it. Then the condition. Experience location monster zone, and it's face up. Makes sense. Target function, you check that there is an empty, you have an empty pendulum zone. And the operation, if you have no empty pendulum zones, then return. Otherwise, move it to all your pendulum zones. That should be fine. Because there's a lot of effects to do that, so I'm guessing that this was copy pasted from like Oda's Rebellion or Oda's Raging or whatever. and they have the same effect. Okay, so let's test this card now real quick. There's a lot of effects actually, so let's go. This is Veiler. This is the Veiler. I don't need it anymore. Okay, so how do we summon it? First, let's check the monster effects, and then we're gonna destroy it, put it on the pendulum zone, and check the pendulum effects. So we need a dark monster and a pendulum monster. So basically, 2 dark pendulum monsters, like Dark Worm, Polymerization. So that's our summon right there. I face a monster who controls, copy its effects. The monster loses 400 attack defense, effects are negated, and does 500 burn. So we could use like Exiled Force for this. And then if it's destroyed, you place it in the pendulum zone. And we're gonna do Offerings to Doomed to destroy it, I suppose. Or we could just use Exiled Force, actually. And then the pendulum effects. Each time you cast it from the field to the graveyard, place 1 Venemy counter on this card. Yep, you check the whole field, not just monster zone. This is an easy way to test it. Long fire, TV4, long fire, TV4, long fire. A bunch of cards go to the graveyard. This against counters. And the next long fire is gonna lose attack. And once per turn, you can reduce battle damage to 0, which doesn't need the opponent to attack. So that should be fine. Okay, so let's go. First, the monster effects. So I'm gonna summon Exiled Force on this side and then Fusion on the other side just to save some time. Holy. These 2. Okay, so now I should be able to target this. 500 down, 500 burn, negates effects, and also copy its effects. Copy, loses, negate, 500 burn. Okay, so now I should be able to use the effects. Tribute, destroy. Okay. So now let's do the reverse so that Exiled Force can destroy this, and so I can use the other effect and place it in the pendulum zone. Summon effect. Yes. Place it here. Okay, so now each time I cast it from the field to graveyard, place 1 Venemy counter. I'm gonna do it with Long Fire. Okay, get a counter. Let's press summon the next one. It has 200 less attack. Okay, 2 Venemy counters. And then I'm gonna attack with Dark Worm to try out the damage reduction. So he's a Dark Dragon, so he doesn't lose attack. And if he attacks, do you want to use his effect? Yes. No damage. And you got another counter because Longfire went to graveyard. Alright, nice. So they should be good to go then, I think. Can't think of anything else. I think everything is pretty much covered. Yeah. Right, so that's gonna be it, I think. Alright, something interesting about Venemy's reveal. I don't know if anybody noticed, but in the Twitter reveal, they usually have the sample text. So, for example, or at least have the Yu-Gi-Oh! JP logo. But the ones revealed on Twitter, let's see if I can find something. Right, this one. The ones revealed on Twitter have the sample, usually on top of the artwork. For whatever reason, the one for Venemy, it wasn't on the artwork, it was like right here on top of the pendulum effect box, which is kind of silly. On one hand, it was really annoying because it was harder to make out the actual effect text on the Japanese image. But on the other hand, we have like the full image, the full artwork with no sample on it, which is nice. But I have no idea why they did it. I don't remember them doing that usually for pendulums or anything. I think they just put it here usually. So it was a little weird. But maybe somebody messed up when they were making the picture, but I don't know. In any case, yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Right, so thanks for watching. Anybody watching on Twitch right now, I'm gonna go upload the cards right now. They're gonna be in the game within the next 5 minutes probably. Everybody watching on YouTube, the cards are already in the game. So yeah, thanks for watching. Good night, good morning, wherever you are. Take care.